And we are back here on our big broadcast, coast to coast, border to border on TuneIn, iTunes, Radio Loyalty, Stitcher, and our brand new Jiggy Jaguar app available in the App Store, jiggyjaguar.us. You can stream the show live, 24/7 replay, exclusive news and programming information, all available on our fantastic app. Download it in both the App Stores right now.
There we go.
And there is Chris. I can officially see him on Skype. And we are going to be hooking up here with Scott from Alice Sweet Alice here in just a few seconds here on our big broadcast. And
I'm ready for this.
first of all, Scott, give us a little bit of an introduction for folks that maybe have been hiding under a rock and don't know who Alice Sweet Alice is.
Well, we're Alice Sweet Alice is an alternative rock band based in Kansas City, Missouri. We're officially just over 11 years old. We've played all over the Midwest, from Chicago to New Orleans. We have 5 albums out. Our 6th album is coming out March 31st, called Viola Organista, the Macabre Carnival. And we just played a show last night with Icon for Hire, internationally known band, and we're getting a lot more. A festival coming up, and I hope you're going to hear about us here pretty darn soon.
Fantastic. Well, we've got Chris Ohle with us today as well. Chris, jump in there. I know you've been preparing for this interview. I know you got some questions for me.
Yeah, I do have some questions. First of all, I want to say congratulations to a great show last night. I've been reading all the social media. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it there, Scott, and due to extenuating circumstances right now.
Sure.
I definitely want to. I do want to hook up, and catch some live music some weekend, or maybe even maybe a private session during one of your practices or something. That would be really cool.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Right on. So last night, Icon for Hire is one of your band members, has a deep meaning for one of the band members, Liza Jean. And,
yes.
And I was wondering if you could elaborate. And she was talking about, and I read her letter to on social media to Icon for Hire. She thanked them. And you guys are very down to earth, and that easy to talk to, reachable, and she a lot of times I have a deep connection with a band's music. Okay, one of them being Queensryche for me. And I have a deep connection with your songs that you've shared with me, and one in particular, which would be the third track, which is Jiggy, help me out. What's the third track's name?
You guys have some fantastic music, by the way. We have got
well, thank you so much.
We've got Alice Sweet Alice with us today here on our big broadcast. We're going to be playing some of their music here in a few moments as well. Chris, I know that these guys, you got wind of these guys through social media and through some of your contacts up there in the Kansas City area. People are just raving like crazy about these guys.
Yes, most definitely. Wow. And everybody that I've talked to and I've shared your page with, or listening to the MP3s that you sent me, Scott. They love them. I'm surrounded by veterans. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, and I'm part of a nonprofit as well for veterans, and called Veterans 11 Veterans 365. And your music, a lot of them suffer from PTSD, such as myself. Wow. But the connection to Jiggy, look up that third track. I don't know if I can get out of this. So Scott, this is my first time Skyping, Scott, so I apologize.
Sure, that's fine. No problem.
We are trying all sorts of new technology today, and so we've got we're going to be playing some of your music here in a few moments. We've got
third track, would you, Jiggy? And then that way I can elaborate on what I was getting ready to say. But I feel a deep connection, and a lot of us vets feel a deep connection to the track, and I think it would behoove to hear that, because it's a great song, and the lyrically it is very beautiful. What can you?
It's either I think it's Sucker. Is that it? Or Smile?
Yeah, very much so. That's the name, Sucker. It's Sucker.
Sucker. Yeah. Yes, actually, and I can tell you about that song.
That's what
and I'm not sure. And I'm not sure if it really you interpret it how it is, but everyone interprets meanings for their own way. Really, Sucker is about. I went to China with my ex-wife, who was the former lead singer of Alice, Sweet Alice, and our marriage was on the rocks. She didn't want to go to China by herself, so I went with her. And when I was there, I felt like the loneliest person in a city of 10 million people, or however many people there are in Beijing. And it was just, it was an incredible experience. And so that is what that song is about. It's about me, realizing that I screwed up, and I'm the sucker, really.
Right.
And so that was kind of just me kind of being open and honest with myself and my ex-wife, and so it's not really a relationship song, rather than a song about self discovery and self-healing.
Right.
So that's kind of maybe you're getting that part from it.
Yeah, that's exactly. Because personally, I feel that that I feel the same way. That we make bad choices. PTSD has a lot of sub-symptoms and everything. And you do come back and you feel alone, you feel abandoned and everything. And so just putting ourselves in that and becoming the song, the lyrics of the song, and that it brings back these memories. And it's actually kind of for me soothing, because you don't feel alone when I don't feel alone whenever I hear the song, because there's a connection there. And
Chris, that's such an honor for me to hear.
Yeah. And so
it really is.
Yeah. So and a lot of the guys, in fact I played it this morning, and up here at the Leavenworth VA in Leavenworth, Kansas, and so there's a lot of guys that are anxious to see this interview, and so
I'll
so
tell you what, we have. Alice, Sweet Alice has always supported veterans. We've played veterans benefits. We've played a few years ago. We played one of the veterans' homes up here, and we actually wrote a song about it, and it's on our website, AliceSweetAlice.com. It's on our album called Ribbons and Stone. It's a song called Heroes, and some of the stories those veterans told us were just so incredible. We just, we were inspired to write this song because, we just appreciate the sacrifice not only veterans make, but their families make for this country.
Definitely.
People don't realize, the extent of that. And then it's, even if you get out of the service, you're always there, especially if you have PTSD. It's something that's always with you. So it's a lifelong commitment. It's not just a commitment of 2 years or 4 years. Right. It's just something that never leaves you. So it's just, I don't think people really realize that the sacrifice that a lot of our veterans make, and we do, and so we appreciate that, and we will do anything, to help support veterans. We will play benefits or anything like that. So if there's anything like that out there, please,
Awesome. I'll get. We have a benefit coming up at Knucklehead Saloon, and at August 5th, and there's going to be an open jam at the beginning during the day. I'll get you the hours for that. and it's to benefit Cars for Heroes and Wounded Warrior Project, I believe it is. Don't quote me on the second one, but definitely Cars for Hire. And then tiny houses for veterans are going to have a display there. And then we got some bluesy stuff, artists that are going to be playing later on. But there's a couple of the veterans here, you know, because some of the guys that are wanting to go attend that, you know, they're musicians and you know, they play really great. You know, I know a couple guys that play some really kick-ass blues guitar, and they are dying to be able to play with, you know, share a stage and just jam, you know, play their feelings, you know. So that would be something that you know, I can discuss with you further later on.
Absolutely.
And I'll get that information.
We'd be honored.
And that and
there's another song.
Go ahead.
There's another song that we did related to military as well. It's a song called MIA, and there's a video for it on our website, and also on YouTube. Our YouTube page is youtube.com/AliceSweetAliceUSA. There's a video for MIA, and it's a song that we wrote. We were inspired by a story on CBS about this widow who her husband was missing in action from World War II, and she searched for him for years and years and years. She never remarried. They were newlyweds when he left for World War II. He was part of the Battle of Normandy. You know, the original invasion. And what ended up happening is he wound in France. She was getting conflicting information from the government, et cetera, but she finally found that he had gone down. And so 50 years later, after he'd gone down, she visited the town, and he was actually, there was a monument to him. He was like a local hero because when he went down, he steered his plane into the forest instead of hitting the town. So he was actually a local hero, and he had a grave site there. So 50 years after she had lost contact with him, she got closure, and so that's what we wrote that song about. So I mean, we're really, it's just that's all important stuff, and I think that needs to be recognized. So, and what's cool about that story is that the widow, the lady, she actually heard the song, and you know, she was super old. She was probably like in her 80s or 90s even, and she heard the song, and it touched her deeply, and she said that it expressed exactly how she felt about the whole thing. So that was the best thing in the world for us.
Yeah, that's very gratifying that you know, for us that musicians you know, connect with the veteran population, and and we love music, and that bottom line, music, you know, is healing. So what I would like to do, Jiggy, let's get into and listen to the song "Sucker." If
you're
ready.
Yes, definitely.
Let our audience get a taste of one side of the style of music that is coming from this wonderful band and
definitely
a group of wonderful people.
Definitely.
Right.
We're going to do this. We're going to put you guys on hold. We're going to play the track, and I will be back here in just a few moments here on our big broadcast. Sucker coming up.
Beautiful.
Chris Ohle and Alice Sweet Alice will be back with us here in just a few seconds.
Walking the streets
That is Alice, Sweet Alice, here on the big broadcast, coast to coast and border to border. We're going to go back to the Skype, and we are going to join Chris Ohle from KJAG Radio and Alice, Sweet Alice, here on our big broadcast. Heck of a track, Chris. That was a good deal, man.
Yeah, I can really relate to that. I can really relate to that song, and the lyrically, you know, it tells a story about so many people's lives, you know, and you know, the story behind it. Scott is you know, I've been in that situation. You know, I traveled on the railroad for a while and stuff, you know, and was separated from my family. But I love that song. I just want you to know that you know, I listen to it daily actually, and that so
wow.
I appreciate you guys on that. I guess
we are honored. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You've shared the stage with bands, some notable bands, and that you got in your repertoire, you know, and Collective Soul, one of them, Chuck Mosley of Faith No More, Mushroom Head,
Yeah, rest in peace.
Taproot, Nothing More, Cycle Stick, and you know, and there's many more, and that.
Yep.
Is there any one concert that you performed in with one of these bands that stands out more so and means more to you than any of the others? I know that, you know, I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but you know,
yeah. No, I mean, it's actually pretty easy. The one that we did at Collective Soul at the Booth Lounge in Kansas City stands out to me the most. Not only was the place, the capacity is like 2,500 or something like that. Yeah. Not only was the place packed to the rafters, right. Probably the biggest crowd we'd ever played with to date, but the guys from Collective Soul were so nice. You know, we were there and setting up, and they invited us up to the green room with them, and they were actually, while we were on stage, they were backstage rocking out to us, which was cool. Right. You know what I mean? Right on. So you play with some bands, they're real busy, they're kind of aloof, they're tired from being on the road, which, hey, you know, believe me, I totally get it, because I've done it before. Right. And, you know, you're not always in a social mood, you know, it's just, you know, you're human, you know, musicians are people too, you know? So right. Oh, yeah. It's just, they were just such nice people, genuinely nice people, and it was just such a great show. We, like, sold out of merchandise. The whole place was just rocking. There's actually videos of it on our website. But yeah, that one definitely stands out to me the most, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, Collective Soul. You know, I love their music. But you know, I like the fact that your band doesn't really fit into just any one particular, you know, style of music. You know, you got a little bit of electronica that I hear in there. You got some jazz, some blues. You got a little punky sound to you. You know, Pink sound. You know, a little bit of a Pink Floyd. You know, which is, I grew up on it. You know, as a kid. Yeah. And my dad listened to it. And so that's what I like about your music. You know, Garbage is a band that I love. You know, Shirley Manson.
Yeah.
And then the late great singer for the Cranberries. You know, you got a little bit of Cranberries in you, in your sound. One of my favorite bands as well. And you know, your music that Alice, Sweet Alice is putting out. I have to say that it is that caliber, brother, and that literally that caliber, and that me, that's awesome. And I don't just throw that out there. I'll call a spade. You know, if the music sucks, the music sucks. You know, but I'll be constructive about it. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I hear you.
I don't see that, and I don't hear that. You know, with the music that I've listened to, even though you know the video for the song "Smile" that you have on your up for everyone. That first of all, I got to say kudos to the videographer, whoever that was, and if you want to give a plug for them, now's the time to do it.
Well, that was actually me.
Right on. I'm finding more and more ways to do that.
We're totally a DIY band. It's only because I'm just a cheap bastard, really. Is the long and short of it. And I don't know. I just kind of I just like doing stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just fun. So
right.
yeah, I did. We did all that, and we've done all of our videos pretty much. We only had one that was done a video for Daredevil a few years ago, a couple of years ago, and we paid for it, and it was such an excruciating process because the guy, he didn't even have the stuff synced up, and it was awful, and he was just like, it's just not a fun experience, and it cost us way too much money, and I was like, that's the last time I'm doing that crap. So I just decided that I was just going to do, take matters into my own hands. Because if I screw it up, if it's screwed up, I want to be the one to screw it up.
Right,
So,
you have nobody else to blame but yourself, you lesson learned, trial and error, you know what I'm saying? And that, so
yeah,
I just want to let you know that's an awesome video, and that is actually the first song that I heard. I watched that video whenever I discovered you, and that. Personally, and I watched the video and I was like, man, this kicks ass. And then that's whenever I shared the video, and then I also had first was introduced to you, and it caught my eye, especially the name caught my eye. Okay, and that's going to be my next question. Where did the name Alice, Sweet Alice? Because I remember when I first met you, first started talking to you, I called you Alice, and you go, well, you can call me Scott.
Yep. yeah. Well, yeah, that's my Facebook profile, and I just kind of use that mostly for band stuff because you have to be on Facebook. I mean, there's no getting around it. So I kind of use it for that. But yeah, no, the name came from the 1976 movie. Simple as that. It's just the movie Alice, Sweet Alice. It's Brooks' first movie. It's kind of a B horror movie. It's kind of creepy, and I just always thought it would be a cool band name, and so I kind of carried it around with me from for a few years and from project to project. Nobody else thought so for a long time. So finally, I started Alice, Sweet Alice in 2007, and I said, well, guess what? I know exactly what this is going to be called. So there it was, and so I actually just trademarked the name too. So finally, it's mine. So
that's great.
Yeah. So
awesome.
If you have a band called Alice, Sweet Alice, you better change your name.
Right. And but that drew my attention in one of my it was the event notification for last night's show, and that I didn't get to attend. But you got another show that's coming up on the 31st at Prohibition Hall, and I'd really like to get it out there so that people have time to plan for it. It's going to come up quick. We're already on the 7th of March. Can you believe that?
Yeah, we're like 3 weeks away from that show, and it's actually a masquerade. And it's something that we did in years past, and I've just started doing again. Basically, they're our own shows, and I like to support artists that want to work hard, they want to promote, they want to get up and play a kick-ass show. And not only musicians, but performers, like we've had fire breathers and and burlesque performers and things like that, and also vendors, local artisans come in. So it's like I wanted it to be an event with more interactive, things for people to do, a lot of different variety. And it's not only just one genre of music either, because I think a show is so much more interesting if the bands are a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just want to provide an opportunity for bands like that to be able to get out there. And like you said, we don't really fit into like a nice, neat little box. So we've really struggled actually in Kansas City because of, people, they go out looking for a particular thing, and us playing shows with people sometimes, sometimes people look at us like we have three heads. And so it's been better lately, though. It seems like we've been a lot more better received in the past since we started playing again last November after a hiatus. But but yeah, so we do those, and that's going to be on March 31st at Prohibition Hall in Kansas City. There's tickets available on our website, AliceWoodAlice.com. There's a tour page, and you can get tickets right from there. And so yeah, it's going to be a really cool event. The tickets are $9 online.
Right, that's reasonable for that type of a show, and to get the variety of music and you can't beat that.
That's the whole thing. We're not trying to make a killing. I just rather get a whole bunch of people in there, and just have fun. We're going to have an MC that's going to be playing some acoustic stuff and doing some jokes, and we're going to be playing games. There's going to be some really cool vendors like Evil Pawn Jewelry. Is going to be there. We're going to have some burlesque performer. I think we're going to have a girl that does fire breathing and stuff, and we have a street team called Alice's Angels that's going to be there. It's just going to be really great. So
I think that's going to be top notch.
Yeah, oh yeah. So and they're really awesome, and we're really lucky and blessed to work with them. And it's not Alice's Angels is kind of based off us, and we're kind of like they're under our umbrella, but. They're going to be working at other shows as well for other hardworking bands, just because I want to. I just figured, we're just going to build our own scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just we've had trouble getting foothold here in Kansas City. Kind of a cliquish town. There's a lot of talent here, but it's kind of hard to break in sometimes if you don't know a lot of people. So and we just haven't. So, but we don't think it should be based upon knowing people and patting somebody. He's back. It should be based upon talent and hard work, and that's really what we're going after. So the people at the end of the day, it's about the musicians and the listener. That's really it. Yeah. It's not about who you're playing with. It's not about the promoter. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about the people playing the music and the people that the music is being played for. Period.
Exactly.
So and that's all it should be about. It shouldn't be any politics. It shouldn't be any cronyism. Nothing like that. So we're totally getting away from that. And if you're busting ass and you're working hard and you're tight and you want to get out there, definitely get a hold of us. AliceSweetAliceUSA@gmail.com is our email. AliceSweetAlice.com is our website. Contact us. Send us a press kit, and we'll work together.
Fantastic.
Awesome. And now Audio Cave Recording Studio. Can you tell me a little bit about Audio Cave and your relationship with that? Is that your own studio, or is that a studio here in Kansas City that you guys just do your recording in?
Yeah, no, that is my studio, my recording studio. I've been open to the public since 2011. They can check me out at audiocaverecording.com. I'm like a hybrid analog digital studio. I do it the old school way. It's all recorded into the computer, but I go through analog compressors and a board and all that stuff. And I do my mixing that way too. And it's all, I focus on the artist and their performance. So I think performance is absolutely paramount over everything else. I mean, I could make a mediocre recording, but if the performance is awesome, that's what people are going to be.
Oh yeah.
Versus that guitar tone is awesome. No, they're going to be hearing a song that's like firing on all cylinders first.
That's awesome.
So I try to capture that. If I can capture that, an extreme can't lose. So that's kind of my philosophy, and I do that with Alice Sweet Alice and every other band that comes in through here. So that's what we try to do. In fact,
go ahead.
I was going to say, what we do is, like everything you hear on our album, it's all real stuff. It's all real recordings.
Well, yeah.
So. It's just that's. I just think and I don't think I'm a good enough recording engineer to start taking shortcuts. Using amp simulators and that type of stuff. It's like recording with the intent to replace things. I try to actually do my best and try to get better at what I'm doing to be able to get because and the thing is too, I think that's important because you hear a lot of music on the radio and it all sounds the same. Well, that's because a lot of those recording engineers and mixing engineers, they're all using the same stuff. They're all using the same samples, et cetera, et cetera. The reason music a lot of those bands sounded different back in the old days is because each one of those musicians has their sound. They have their equipment. They have it dialed in how they want it to sound. And you put all that together, that's what makes the sound of that band unique. So it's my job as a recording engineer, I feel, to capture that for those artists. And so if you come here, that's what I'm going to do.
Awesome. And I respect that, because you're right. There are too many, there are music, I like to hear all the different instruments and everything, and I'll sit there and you can tell if you know music and you listen to music and it's engraved in your soul, you can tell the difference between something that is digital, or a track that's playing behind you, and something that is a real instrument. You know what I mean? And that's what I love. I respect that. And that, I'm telling you, you guys are a force to be reckoned with. You're going to be going places. I know this for a fact. And I'm going to do my utmost, like I've said in our conversations, to get an opportunity for you guys. Because of the way that the scene is in the Midwest, and I'm trying to change that. And that's why I've kind of part of the reason why I relocated up here to Kansas City, so that way I can I can be available and and bring a media platform through KJAG radio and other sources. My connections in the entertainment industry, with agents, with at the national level, that can take that guessing game out. Because there are so many fakes and charlatans, overnight charlatans that say, oh well, hey, I can help you out, and then a lot of bands spend their money like in that videographer, that videographer that you had, and they're not happy. The result isn't there. And so I'm the type of guy actions speak louder than words, and I do it looking for nothing in return other than just don't forget the little guy. You know what I'm saying? And that and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, Chris. And I feel I share the same philosophy as you, in that I am willing to help out anybody that is hardworking and wants to get somewhere and has talent and is trying to get better. Because I'll sit here and tell you right now, I love what Alice is doing, but we're always trying to improve and get better and write better songs, et cetera, et cetera. It's just a constant process. You know what I mean? And and so I really feel that, and that's kind of why I reach out to other bands and artists, and it doesn't really matter what the genre is, just because there's so much talent, not only in Kansas City but everywhere. So if people, like I said, if they want to try to make a difference, because music is such a powerful medium too, like you talking about how it affects you. Well, it affects a lot of people that way. And really, as far as the monetary side of it, I'd love to be able to do this for a living. But you telling me that our music resonated to you and can possibly change your life and somebody else's life and become the soundtrack of your life, that is totally thanks enough. That makes everything worthwhile to me. That's really what it's about. It is about,
for me anyway.
And I appreciate that. I really love another song that you shared. It said it was done in 2012. Blood Roses.
Yep.
And can you tell me a little bit about what was the situation or the event in your life, or what brought you to and write Blood Roses, because it's got some great lyrics. Oh.
Yeah. Well, Blood Roses is about. It's basically like about. I'm a history freak. Okay. So and I love British history and English history. So it's kind of about the plague. And I read a book written by Chelsea Quinn Yarborough, an author based out of Berkeley, California, called Blood Roses, and that's what the song is kind of based off. But I think the premise of the song, and I'm not anti-religious or anything like that, I'm not anti-God or anything, but one of the big things in the book was that people were praying and trying to get healed, and they thought God was going to save them, but yet they continued to behave in risky manners. And a lot of it, you know,
Right.
in the old days was because they didn't understand how germs worked or anything like that. But
Right.
they put their faith so deeply. It's kind of about blind faith. Is the message behind the song, and it's also about, well, don't expect somebody else to fix your problems. You need to do things yourself. You need to take care of your own business. So that's kind of that's the premise behind the song, sort of in a not so fun way of talking about it.
Right.
But that's kind of what it was, and I was kind of at a point in my life where I was kind of making some changes, and you know, and just having to pull myself up on my bootstraps and get out there and do things myself, and that's kind of how I've always been. You know, you can kind of see that with how Sweet Alice operates. You know, we make our own video, we have our own recording studio, we do our own booking and promotion, et cetera, et cetera. So I've always just kind of been that way. We've never had anybody else to help us out, so I've always felt like that's just something that I've had to do, and I'm happy to do it, and it's my job. I feel like it's my job, you know, not only to be an artist in the band. I have a whole bunch of different hats. So
right. So, yeah, I know that feeling. And then, Jiggy, can we play that Blood Roses for everybody?
Yes. We're running low on time, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna play Blood Roses, then we're gonna come back and we're gonna wrap it up with Chris Ohle and Alice, Sweet Alice, here on the big broadcast. We're gonna place these guys on hold, and we are gonna play Blood Roses, and we'll come back and wrap it up here on our big broadcast. Back here, Blood Roses, that's right. And we are going to go back. We have got Chris Ohle from KJAG Radio joining us once again. And also Alice, Sweet Alice. And as we wrap up here, Chris, I know you got,
Yeah.
Go ahead and wrap us up here with our guest for this afternoon.
Okay. Well, I just want to say, man, it's been an honor to have you on the air today. The music that you put out, I can't say anything less than I fucking love it. Okay, and I pardon the French, but that's that's what my heart's saying. I fucking love it. So
yeah, thanks, Chris.
Keep doing what you're doing, brother. And you guys, I believe that I can make that March 31st show. And that I was looking at the calendar. That's a Sunday. Is that a Sunday or a Saturday?
It's a Saturday night. So
Okay.
we would love to have you, and of course you'll be there as my guest. And you and my friend come on by, and come on by.
That'd be great. And I'm gonna put that on my calendar. And and I definitely I would love to attend that. And I want to see you guys live, and maybe we can do a remote there, with the rest
Sure.
with all the band and everything. So
Definitely.
for the show, and I want to continue our relationship, and I want to keep plugging you into my connections in the industry, and if it happens, I'm gonna do my best for you, and I just want you to know that, and I'm sure Jiggy will too, because Jiggy loves your music.
Yep, good stuff. You guys are damn amazing. But before we let you guys go,
Thank you.
How do we get a hold of you guys online and social media and everything?
Let's get that.
We have a main. Yeah, our main website is AliceSweetAlice.com. We're also on Facebook /AliceSweetAlice. You can reach us on Twitter /AliceSweetAlice. We answer all messages. Please contact us. All of our discography is available on our website, AliceSweetAlice.com. There's videos, all kinds of stuff. Join our mailing list. We communicate with our ASA Army, we call them. So we're going to start a forum online here pretty soon, too. So, yeah, please contact us anytime, and come out to see us play. So March 31st at Prohibition Hall in Kansas City is our next show.
And what time did that start?
The doors are going to open up at 7 p.m.
Okay.
So, and tickets are $9, and you can get those at AliceSweetAlice.com for $9.
Awesome. Well,
awesome. Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys being
Go ahead,
on.
Jiggy.
No, I was just appreciate the music. Appreciate you guys. Chris, wrap us up, my friend.
All right. Well, I'm just going to say, hey, this is KJAG Radio with Scott Martinez